10 financial mistakes that can make even a good income feel poor. It's around 12 at night. The salary has just been credited to the salary account. A bank message flashes on the mobile screen, and for a few seconds, there is a feeling of relief. But the very next moment, other notifications begin. Credit card due, EMI debit, OTT subscription renewal, online shopping payment, insurance premium, fuel spend, food delivery, and by the middle of the month, the fear that the wallet will feel light again. From the outside, everything looks fine. There is income, there is a job, there is a lifestyle. But inside, one question keeps slowly growing. If the income is fine, then why doesn't the money stay? And this is where the story of that truth begins. A truth that is often created not by a lack of big earnings, but by small financial mistakes. The fear is that we may lose the money we earned through hard work to our own habits. And the curiosity is, what exactly are those mistakes that can make even a person who looks rich become financially weak? In today's world, financial problems do not always come from poverty. Many times, the problem is not lack of income, but lack of discipline. 𝐟𝐨𝐵 clearly says in its investor education material that budgeting is not just about keeping accounts, but about understanding your income and expenses, controlling spending, reducing debt, and moving toward financial goals. That means earning money is the first battle, but giving it direction is the second battle, and a much harder one. That is why many people, despite having a good income, live a paycheck to paycheck life, while people who earn less than them slowly build wealth. The first big mistake is considering unnecessary spending too small to matter. One coffee, one food order, one impulse purchase, one cab ride, one flash sale. When seen separately, all of these feel minor. But money never leaks out through just one big hole. It often flows out through tiny cracks. Think about it. If someone is spending 500 or 700 rupees every week, just like that, then by the end of the year, that same amount turns into thousands. And the most dangerous part is that these expenses don't hurt at the time the money is leaving. They hurt when an emergency comes and the account is found empty. That is the psychology of small financial leaks. They don't make you poor suddenly. They make you poor slowly. The second mistake is never reviewing recurring expenses. A lot of people increase their subscriptions along with their increasing income. OTT, music, premium apps, club membership, paid tools, fancy gym, duplicate insurance, add-ons, auto-renew services. Money keeps getting deducted little by little every month, and the person keeps thinking that this is manageable. But 𝐟𝐨𝐵 says budgeting is necessary precisely because expenses never become visible unless written down. Until you place your income and expenses in front of yourself, you don't even realize in how many directions your pocket is being emptied. Many times, a financial crisis is created not by falling income, but by rising invisible expenses. The third and most common mistake is treating a credit card not as a spending tool, but as an extension of income. RBI treats credit card dues like personal loan debt, and it instructs card issuers to clearly display the APR, meaning the annualized percentage rate. RBI also says that card statements must prominently carry a warning that if you keep paying only the minimum amount due, repayment can drag on for years and the interest burden keeps increasing. The meaning is simple. Credit card is convenience, not free money. The day you carried a balance past the due date, the price of coffee, phone, clothes, and travel changed. The thing that looked like 5,000 may, after interest and late charges, become far more expensive. That is why credit card misuse has become one of the fastest financial trap stories in the middle class. And the real trick of the credit card does not even end there. RBI's guidance also says that during an economic downturn, the quality of credit card portfolios can deteriorate quickly, especially when risk management becomes weak. This means that when the economy gets difficult, jobs become uncertain, bonuses stop, and cash flow gets squeezed. That is exactly when credit card debt becomes the most poisonous. In other words, what looks manageable in good times can become the trigger for financial collapse in bad times. So before spending through a card, the question should not only be, can I afford this right now? The real question should be, if my income gets squeezed for the next 2 months, will I still be able to repay this comfortably? The fourth mistake is becoming too emotional while buying a car. In our society, a car is not just transport, it has also become a symbol of status. That is why many people take on the EMI of an SUV, even when what they really need is a budget hatchback. But a car is a depreciating asset. That means the moment you drive it out of the showroom, its market value starts falling. Add interest, insurance, fuel, servicing, accessories, parking, challan, and maintenance on top of that, and the car stops being just an asset. It becomes a monthly cash drain. The problem is not buying a car. The problem begins when, in the name of mobility, you mortgage your future income. The drive for show often takes you off the road of wealth creation. The fifth mistake is turning house purchase into a lifestyle trophy. Buying a house is not wrong, but a bigger than needed house is not just pride, it is also a perpetual expense. A bigger home loan, a bigger down payment, a bigger registration cost, higher maintenance, more furnishing, higher property tax, higher utility bills. The cumulative effect of all this hits the budget. An important idea in SEBI's financial planning materials that budgeting should include future expenses as well. While buying a house, people calculate the EMI but often forget the expenses outside the EMI, and that is the mistake that creates pressure later. A home should be shelter, not a financial trap. The sixth mistake is thinking that repeated refinancing or taking a top-up loan is a smart move. Many people use home equity, loan top-up, or refinance as if it were extra income. At first, lower interest rate, longer tenure, and lower EMI feel like relief. But if refinance starts being used not for productive reasons, but for lifestyle spending, vacations, gadgets, or paying off old consumer debt, then it becomes a second attack on future income. The money is the same, only the packaging has changed. Debt remains debt even if it changes houses. Financial wisdom is not about how easily you can take a new loan. Real wisdom is about how rarely you need one. The seventh and one of the most dangerous mistakes is not building an emergency fund. SEBI clearly advises in its investor education content that an emergency fund should be maintained for unexpected events like job loss or sudden emergency. While explaining the benefits of budgeting, SEBI also says that it takes unexpected need for funds into account. That is the difference between a financially stable person and a financially fragile person. Problems come in the life of the stable person too, but he does not break. The entire financial structure of the fragile person gets shaken by one medical bill, one missed salary, or one family emergency. That is why an emergency fund is not a luxury. It is a survival tool. The eighth mistake is thinking that retirement is a very distant thing. This is the illusion that causes the most damage at the age of 25, 30, and 35. SEBI says that investing early helps in long-term wealth creation and retirement fund building, and the biggest advantage of compounding goes to those who start early. The example given in SEBI's education material is very interesting. If someone invests 5,000 rupees every month starting at age 25 and assumes a 10% return, then over the long term, the corpus can cross 1 crore rupees. But if the same start happens at age 40, the corpus remains much smaller. The message is clear. In retirement planning, the biggest advantage is not high return, but an early start. In India, the institutional framework around retirement planning has also grown rapidly. According to PFRDA, the national pension system was designed for old age income security. And by 2025, NPS and APY together had crossed more than 9 crore subscribers and more than 16 lakh crore in assets under management. This means that crores of people are now beginning to understand that retirement cannot be left only to government pension or children. The architecture of NPS has been designed for low transaction costs and long-term pension accumulation. In other words, the system itself is giving the same message. Security in old age is built through planning, not through last-minute panic. The ninth mistake is breaking retirement corpus in order to clear short-term debt. It sounds practical. Let me close the credit card or personal loan for now. I'll rebuild my retirement fund later. But the real damage is the one you cannot see. You did not just withdraw money, you switched off the engine of compounding. You borrowed from your future self. SEBI's material describes compounding as a powerful tool for wealth creation, and PFRDA's pension framework is also based on accumulation over time. That is why touching the retirement fund is considered reasonable only when it is truly the last compulsion. Otherwise, you burn tomorrow's house to put out today's fire. The 10th mistake, which is the root of the other 9 mistakes, is the absence of a financial plan. A lot of people plan their career, travel, family functions, gadgets, social media presence, and even weekend plans, but not their money. SEBI says budgeting is a plan. You have to decide in advance how you're going to spend your money. SEBI also explains in goal setting that goals should be realistic and time-bound. In other words, I want to become rich is not a goal. In 3 years, I want to build a 6-month emergency fund. Every month, I want to invest a fixed amount for retirement. In 2 years, I want to finish high-interest debt. This is a goal. When there is no plan, income becomes directionless. And money without direction often flows into lifestyle instead of turning into wealth. Along with this, another subtle mistake is connected. Failing to understand the difference between saving and investing. In SEBI's beginner material, it is clearly written that money kept in a savings account is safe and liquid. But for long-term goals, prudent investments can often deliver better returns than that. The same material also gives the example of inflation and says that the aim of financial planning should be to earn returns above inflation. This does not mean that you should put every rupee into the market. It only means that emergency fund and short-term cash should be kept separately. But money for long-term goals should not be left idle. A person who only saves may be disciplined, but a person who only invests may be reckless. Wisdom lies in balancing the two. In today's digital age, another mistake is growing silently. Financial comparison. On social media, everyone displays travel, gadgets, restaurants, a new car, a renovated home, and a luxury lifestyle. A person stops making decisions based on his own financial reality and starts making them based on other people's visible life. SEBI's investor awareness modules repeatedly talk about independent research, wise financial decisions, and avoiding herd mentality. The same thing applies to personal finance too. Spending decisions taken by looking at someone else's life often go against your own income goals and risk capacity. Wealth is built quietly while show off sells loudly. The one who does not understand this difference often becomes rich from the outside and fragile from the inside. If you put all these mistakes into one picture, the truth becomes very simple. Financial crisis does not always come from one terrible event. It is often created by a chain of ordinary decisions. Unnecessary spending, invisible subscriptions, credit card rollover, ego-driven car, oversized house, casual refinancing, no emergency fund, delayed retirement investing, breaking retirement corpus, and moving money without any goal. All of these together slowly steal the power of your income. Then the person complains that money doesn't stay, while the real truth is that money is going into the wrong system. And perhaps that is the biggest lesson of this entire story. Financial success does not only mean earning more, it means protecting the money you earn from mistakes. Because before building wealth, you have to close the leaks. Discipline feels boring, budgeting feels tedious, emergency fund feels slow, retirement investing feels like a distant matter. But these are the quiet habits that make the future secure. Otherwise, no matter how much the salary increases, if the mistakes keep increasing too, the account will look full, while life from the inside will keep becoming financially empty.
If our video has taught you something new, do not forget to like and share this video so that this information can reach others as well. Your likes and shares are a source of inspiration for us. If you have any questions or suggestions, please let us know in the comments. It will be our honor to answer your questions and listen to suggestion. And yes, if you like our content, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that you stay connected with every new story. Thank you. GRT Business YouTube channel sources: news from various news agencies, opinion polls, and other public sources. We try to ensure that every report and summary is accurate and verified, but we are not responsible for any dispute or error. Our aim is only to provide you with accurate information.